Hi guys, this is a little bit of a different video from what I normally make, I understand, but it's something that people have been asking me to talk about, so I thought I should share my thoughts. And what it is this roadmap roundup here that came out last week that has had kind of the whole Star Citizen community a little bit up in arms. It's been absolutely insane the way that people have been reacting to this whole thing. And I think that a lot of it comes from the delivery of what is actually going on here, and a lot of it also comes from people misinterpreting what CIG actually intended about this. I actually put up a poll on my YouTube community tab in which I asked, what do you think about these changes to the roadmap? 29% of people say that the roadmap changes suck. 6% of people said that they're good. 52% of people said that they are both bad and good, and 13% of people said they don't care, which is a really interesting statistic. And I think it kind of goes to show that there are both bad and good points to what's going on with this, these changes to the roadmap. I think the biggest thing, there's a lot to go over here, and I'm not gonna cover everything. But I think the biggest thing that we should mention is the release view, because that's what a lot of people have been getting really up in arms about, is saying that CIG is removing the release view, which is not really accurate. Basically, what they're doing is they are focusing, as they say here, we will no longer show any deliverables in the release view for any patches beyond the immediate one in the next quarter. So this means that what they're doing with the release view is basically, instead of having the release view with all these items on it and having that scheduled out for like the whole year, they're basically just going to be focusing on the very next patch. And I think that is actually a good change, because what was happening with the release view is you were getting a bunch of these cards, we'll call them, added onto the release view for each patch, going forward a year, even past a year. And then every single roadmap roundup, they would get, dropped or moved around, and it was causing a lot of confusion because it felt like the release view was really wildly inaccurate, because putting the cards onto the release view that far out was really causing them to not really have a definitive actual timeline for when these things are coming out. So I think that moving the release view, which is the really simplified, dialed down version of their progress tracker, and focusing only on what is coming in the very next patch, is a really good change for them. If you want more detailed information of what is coming in the future, you have to look at the progress tracker. The problem with the progress tracker is that it is a lot more complex, and I think intimidating, especially for newer players or players who aren't as invested in the development cycle, to go through and look at all of the, like bar graphs and stuff that they have on the progress tracker. It's a lot more intimidating to look at. But it is a lot more accurate to what the actual development cycle is. And if you look on the progress tracker, you can actually see things like which teams are working on which jobs, what weeks are scheduled for sprints. There's just a lot more information on there, especially on smaller deliverables that they might not necessarily actually show on the release view tracker, because it's not like a big gameplay feature. It might just be quality of life items. that do show on the progress tracker, but just not on the release view. So overall, I think that this is a good change. I do understand where some of the confusion is coming from, because again, I feel like that there's a lot of things that they probably could have done to maybe word this a little bit better for people to understand. And I do understand that some people just don't really like to read, which is fine. But I think that people need to understand that they're not changing things. They're not trying to make things less transparent. They're not trying to give us less information. They're just trying to give us more accurate information, and to make what is showing on the release view more accurate. And if you want more information about what's coming further in the future to push people towards the progress tracker, which is what has the more accurate information and a lot of the more detailed information that you might be looking for about the releases. So anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I know that this is kind of a controversial topic that has had people up in arms for a little while, and I didn't really want to touch it, but people have been asking me to. So anyways, those are my thoughts on this whole thing. Obviously some things got dropped, some things got added, yada yada yada. It's what happens. It's game development. Overall, I'm really excited for the next patch, and I think that you should be as well. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, and have a wonderful day.